Be more constructive with your feedback.
That's the end of the shit. Let's do the show backwards.
And then do our theme song. Damn your younglings to eternity. We're cutting them in half. Possibly in 2 quarters or cutting their limbs off. Yep. Slicing, cutting, badgering, fliming. Youngling bits are everywhere. The blood is splattered. Yep.
What?
What's up, everybody?
Good day.
How's it going? That's what it is.
It's called the oops.
It's called the
Oops, the
crisscross.
Jedi.
Let's do the crisscross.
Crisscross.
Crisscross applesauce today.
Jedi misread some texts, and now Anakin murdered a bunch of them.
Do they ever fucking read the text correctly? Is what I
No.
want to know.
No.
Any vision is just like, yeah, well, we're screwed now. It's going to be the downfall of our entire civilization.
What I like is their whole society is built on interpretation of books.
And
But
they're
Anakin
so bad at it.
Anakin has a direct vision from the Force, and they're like, "Yep, nope, that's not real. Ignore all that." And
It's
you're like,
just
"Wait a second."
religion all over again.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, Anakin's kind of like, Jesus, like the second coming of the Force.
Oh yeah,
And everyone's like, I'm not sure. I don't buy it.
his visions are a weird.
That would happen. That would happen in real life, by the way. Jesus would come back and people would just be like, I don't know.
I don't know.
He doesn't have a TV series
I know. Yeah.
or a private jet or a mega
Yep.
church. I don't know if that's accurate.
He doesn't have a mega church. He's just a carpenter. Why would I fucking listen to a carpenter? Well, that's what he was back then. No. Yes.
A bricklayer? No, maybe we're talking. I don't know.
Yeah. You got to step up.
Carpentry, that's old.
Good day, Galaxy. Appreciate everybody for tuning in.
332, if you can believe it.
I can't believe it. I've gone back and listened to a couple over the past couple years, and just went back to episode
Old
50,
ones?
and
Yeah,
it's like,
those are fun.
whoa. How hammered were we?
I still will proclaim once we got to 18, 19, I feel like the show
rhythm.
created a format.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were some. I mean, there's still 3 or 4 from the archives that they're not public.
They'll never be public. Yeah.
Half of the episodes that Kerner has been on haven't been released
Yeah.
for various reasons.
Kerner's been canceled. That's why he hasn't been back. Yeah. I do have a couple drinks here.
Yeah,
Commander hasn't seen them yet. I saw him in
it's a secret.
the grocery store, and just my jaw dropped, and I was like, this is going to be awful and perfect for the podcast. So,
What?
Yep,
So
that's about right.
we're going to do that. I do plan on kind of doing a small dive into Ahsoka cast and characters. We even have a web page pulled up
Well, 2 weeks away.
to inform us. Yeah, August 23rd, man.
Yeah, 2 weeks from Wednesday.
That's it, man. I know we're excited, but I do feel like it's been enough time that I was able to get over Andor. I'm almost tired of talking about Andor, even though it was so good.
Reminding people that they need to watch Andor.
Yeah.
Mostly looking at you, Steve.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm ready for the next thing. We're not even balls deep into any other series. We should be doing Succession, but we just haven't. So I think in a couple weeks it'll be a good launching point. Ready. And I do feel like seasonality things are it's getting just a little cool. I know we're in early August, but today was oh,
It is cooling down.
I
at
feel
least in
that.
Ohio here. At
And
least
then
in North Ohio.
there was their first preseason football game. That's the start of a whole new season, and school's getting back into the swing of things. So we're in that kind of transition period. It'd be nice to launch something.
And as an avid non-sports watcher, enjoyer, I love football season. So I'm very excited.
Are you gonna watch this year?
I love watching when there's an event or when there's a gathering or a hangout. I'm not gonna, sit there and turn it on by myself and watch it. But
most of them are on Sunday afternoons. That's easy. Like 1 p.m. She's probably
just
down
put
napping
in the background while we're doing laundry and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
I mean, there are some Monday and Thursday night games, which will throw a wrench, but whatever.
Probably not gonna turn those on.
Are you just watching Browns, or are you just like, I want to put something on and just watch any football game?
I have no loyalties.
Yeah,
I actually don't like the Browns.
That's your issue.
So
you need to pick something.
I don't like it enough to pick anything.
Don't watch it. What the fuck are you doing?
I don't by myself. I'm saying hey, we're getting together. Everybody's watching the game, having a fire, grilling out, having some beers. That's a different thing. I'll watch it then. I'm not gonna voluntarily turn it on.
But that's the whole reason you watch. You root for a player or a team, and through the thick and thin, even though this year might be rough, it might be really good. You don't know.
No, I can't be bothered.
You don't want to vest.
Nope.
There's only 17 games in the whole. There's 17 days over the next year that you have to just pay attention.
Don't single out football. I can't be bothered with any sport.
I mean, baseball, I get it. Like, it's just too much. There's
3,000 games.
Yes, that's every day, twice a day sometimes, and you're like, what the fuck? I'm not even joking. They do double headers.
Hey, look, if I'm hanging out with someone that's obsessed and I can feed off their energy a little bit, I'm down. UFC, baseball, football, even soccer.
What I like about football is so many different things can happen. Even though basketball is my favorite, football, so many things can happen because there's so many players out on the field. So I think it's an exciting game. There's a reason why the Super Bowl is one of the biggest things of all time. So
yeah, I watch Super Bowl sometimes.
Oh, Super Bowl.
What I was getting after is, the change of seasons is a big deal for me. I'm excited for fall. I think winter's still my favorite, but fall is very neck and neck,
Winter's only my favorite through January 2nd.
Oh,
I get over
that's
it very...
not even winter.
True, but I just hate the end of winter. That's my least favorite season. Like the March slushy, everything's still gray. It's not warm yet. And I
agree with that.
You're like, what the fuck are we even doing?
The winter to spring transition sucks.
That's my least favorite.
But the rest of winter I'm cool with. Anyways, fall's great. What I was getting after is a lot of our complaints around the Star Wars series were, and I don't mean this to be forgiving to them, but a lot of it was like, man, I've waited for this very rare Star Wars series that we really don't ever get that often, and this is what I have been left with.
Yeah.
It's a bummer. So Andor left on such a high.
Yeah.
And the fact that we've had a long gap, I think, is a good thing.
It's also been kind of a ramp
to
up.
A new pace.
I mean, Obi-Wan was fun. We had our reservations about it, and after watching it, we're like, yeah, but it was still really good.
Fun, yeah, a lot of fun.
Mando season 3 was what it was, but it was still watchable. It was good. But
yeah.
I think we are, like you said, we're kind of riding that high after Andor, and I'm ready for some back to ground zero Star Wars shit. Lightsabers, Empire, and I know that's what we always bitch about getting away from, but we haven't. When was the last time we saw any of that? In episode 9.
Mandalorian, we just saw it. Mandalorian.
But it's not
Andor. We just saw it. Andor.
But both of those are fringe. You're right in the timeline, but it isn't the characters. We don't see the Jedi. This is fucking Ahsoka, and she's going after Thrawn.
Yeah.
I love Andor, but it is fringe. It was a perfect series for what it was. But all this other stuff is fringe stuff. Mando's getting back together. Now, they could play a factor in the grand scheme of Thrawn. And we might even see that overlap because I know what Sabine's going to be in Ahsoka.
I mean, what is not fringe other than Luke, Leia, and Han?
Luke?
No, I'm saying you got
Obi-Wan, anyone with a fucking laser sword.
No, I don't think that classifies.
Yes, absolutely.
That's fringe.
I would put money on the core of what people like, especially if they grew up with it as a kid. You see Darth Vader with a laser sword fighting Obi-Wan with a laser sword, and you're like, that's fucking it. That's it.
It definitely
And that is good versus evil hand-to-hand combat, and you're like, dude, this is it.
That definitely is the most iconic thing, like the most recognizable, like you said. For me, good Star Wars has always had a combo of those two.
Sure.
Which is why I'm like almost surprised at myself with how great Andor was.
Right.
But typically it's like, yeah, we got Rey and Kylo doing their thing over here, and we got Poe and Leia and Han doing their thing over here. The fact that they're happening at the same time and they're intercut is great. Return of the Jedi, ending, same deal. Phantom Menace, ending, same deal. You got a battle, you got starfighters, and you got the Jedi and the Sith fucking around.
The balance of the galaxy comes down to these events which we are watching.
R2.
It's almost the opposite.
Keep talking.
It's almost the opposite of what we've gotten in all the other series. Mando series can or can't happen, and I feel like the Empire would still run the same. Andor was the same way, yeah.
As far as we know, yeah. But they haven't done anything. They haven't linked up in the biggest way. It's just been Moff Gideon.
It's almost like the opposite of my complaint for Marvel. Not everything has to be world-destroying battles.
Yes, I agree
Star
with that.
Wars almost does somewhat require that. And I know I don't want to step on my own toes. I'm not saying that's what's needed for a good series, because obviously we have Andor and it was perfect. But I think at the core of what Star Wars is, it has to lead to that very quickly. I mean, the first movie we see, Death Ball blow up. And then
I think you just encapsulated the problem with expanded universe material, or in the case of Marvel and Star Wars, squeezing these series in between the movies. The movie is the headline feature event, main event, big baddie. Like Thanos doesn't appear in a TV show. He's in the fucking movie.
yeah.
He's the be-all, end-all. But when that's the huge climax and you're going to do a series, but you still need the series to have a climax, what kind of climax can you do knowing that you have to hold back a little bit because it's not the main thing?
There's ways to do it. Look at what Game of Thrones did, sprinkling names in throughout.
That's a different thing.
No, it's not. That
I
is
just
the
mean
bar
Game of Thrones
now.
in general.
That is the fucking bar now.
No one has hit that.
No one. Well, I'm not gonna say ever, but it'll probably be another 10 years before anyone gets close. My point is, Game of Thrones played the long game, and it worked so well. And what did they say in episode 1, day 1?
Winter is coming.
Winter is fucking coming. What the fuck happened? Winter ejaculated all over everybody. They came. They came.
Winter did
It came.
came.
All of them came.
Winter came.
Everybody
Yep.
came. What? It was great.
I don't think other shows are capable of doing that. And I don't even mean like Disney Plus series. I just mean other IP. I don't think it's capable of doing that, and I don't think we should hold it to that standard.
I think Star Wars is the perfect example. It could work that way. I think, and we have gotten it a little bit, and this is what I like that carries over from the Mandalorian stuff. The drops of Ahsoka talking about Thrawn in a random Mando episode, that's what gets my gibbles shaken.
Yeah.
But then when we go through and see the rest of the Mando season, I'm like, but my highlight, story-wise,
Right.
is Grogu. What the fuck is that? And Ahsoka talking about...
Yeah.
So, the top two things have nothing to do with the Mandalorians, which is crazy in my head.
Well, I like that linkage. I'm more talking about the idea that you're going to draw a major storyline across 8 seasons. I don't think Marvel or Disney, I don't think any show is going to do that anymore.
But I think they are doing that. It's just across multiple series. They're not going to do one slew of 9 seasons of Ahsoka.
Yeah, but
it's going to be a sprinkle of Boba Fett, a sprinkle, and
well, we'll see.
I think it is slowly changing my
We'll see.
idea of how the Mandalorian series is going, how Boba Fett's going. Because if they take just a couple things out of those and make it tipping points
Yes.
towards a Thrawn or something, it could be very, very cool.
Well, they've teased that, even the fact that Ahsoka in live action premiered in Mando and now has her own thing. And we know from the announcements that Dave Filoni's movie is going to be like the end of the whole Thrawn saga, Mandoverse saga or whatever.
Do we have a time period for that?
Who the fuck knows? 2040.
Yeah.
So maybe they will build everything towards that now that they have a bit of a trajectory. But I don't know.
You know, it'd be ballsy is if they did a part 1, part 2 kind of
No.
Deathly Hallows thing.
No.
If they made it that big of an event and there was that many storylines or characters to wrap up, I think they could go out with a fucking bang. Straight banger. Look at what they did with Endgame. And
Yeah.
I think they could get to that point.
Well, hey,
There's a lot of...
Listen, they could do a lot of things.
I mean, but Marvel also had 15 years of movies to get to those 2 movies, Endgame and... why am I blanking on the other one?
Infinity War.
Infinity War, thank you.
The first 3 phases of Marvel are like a testament to making that happen in a real way. Oh God, no! All right, if you're just if you're not watching, Mopar has brought out his beverages.
They're 2 different flavors.
Oh
Yeah, this is gonna be awful.
Warheads.
Which one do you
like-
want? So
I
they're
don't
they're
care.
Warhead candy, soda.
Yeah.
Warhead sour. There's a watermelon one, and I think Commander's got the cherry, black cherry. I think I would prefer the black cherry, but it's up to you.
I don't care.
Watermelon sounds disgusting to me.
I know. It's Warheads. It's going to be disgusting either way.
I'm sure
This just brings me back to skating rink parties and sleepovers.
So I've never had anything even close to this. I had the Warhead candies in the 90s and early
Yeah.
2000s. I don't remember. Is this going to be a sour drink? Or is it just going to be...
It says sour with an exclamation point on the front.
Yeah, but that's just the flavor. Is it going to... Let's
just
see.
remember we
this
would
only has
do-
is 70% of your daily sugar in
When
one
we-
drink.
Jesus. Oh my God.
At least it has
Wow. This is like my poison to my wife.
This is poison to
Nope,
everybody.
She's not watching. Well, yeah, but she realizes it.
Oh. Did a sniff test here.
So I just remember at sleepovers,
Mine smells like cough syrup.
it actually doesn't smell horrible, but I don't think sour has like much of a smell, right? We used to do weird challenges, and I remember one time, our buddy Jason, like, put an entire pack of Warheads in a pitcher with like Sprite or something, and let it dissolve, and drank it. And it was like the most. I could not imagine. It was
That's
the most
fun.
horrible thing ever.
I came home.
That's what kids used to do, and then we have kidney stone.
My dad didn't know what Warheads was, and I bought a bag of them. And I said, Dad, you want a candy? He said, sure. And I didn't tell him they were sour. And I gave him a lemon one, and he just popped it in and it immediately spit it out like projectile. Like, what the fuck?
It's like I don't know if there's a term for it, but it's one of those things. It's like you like how atrocious it is,
Yeah. It's so bad it's good.
but it doesn't taste good. All right. Cheers. It's not good, but
I think
that's not nearly as bad as like the candy was.
mine's pretty bad.
That's okay. Last time I got the bad one. Wow. I mean, it's definitely probably the most sugar I've had
Whoa.
in one sitting in the past decade.
I do. So the black cherry, I think, was probably my favorite flavor.
I don't even remember.
I remember lemon, black cherry.
There was a bunch though, wasn't there?
Well, obviously there was a watermelon. I didn't know that. Maybe that was the green one. Oh, this is pretty awful, but
Well, I mean, yeah, it's not good.
the aftertaste is the weird thing because it tries to be sour at the end, but the sugar kind of overtakes it.
I just have a film of
Yeah.
high fructose corn syrup on my mouth now.
Oh, it's more than that. It's just straight cocaine. Carbonated water, booger sugar. See, it's right there.
Ugh.
It really only has like 6 ingredients, which is pretty fucking impressive. Carbonated water, sugar, malic acid, natural flavor, preservatives, and red 41.
I think those
Or red 40.
dyes are like toxic poison.
Yeah, but that's
I
fine.
think red 40 is like Agent Orange.
It's like youngling blood.
Exactly. All right. Well, that was fun.
You're not going to finish yours?
I don't think I want a kidney transplant. Or a
Why
liver
are you
transplant.
drinking diabetes?
Exactly. That's my question. Don't tell Mrs. Commander.
Woo!
She'll be upset.
I like mine 2 out of 3.
It's a 0. I mean, it's not even. It's not sour enough for it to be like a.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's just sour enough that it's like annoying.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, whenever, like, if I drink a soda anymore, it can't be a wild flavor because it tastes so extra sugary to me.
Oh,
Like
I always get the.
vanilla Coke or
Yeah, but you can get them in like the sugar-free version.
diet, 0, all of it.
Which I always do because.
I burped up a black cherry.
Yikes.
Yikes.
I remember once, you get like iced coffee or cold brew from Starbucks or whatever. Well, this is before they had cold brew. But it normally comes with sugar, and you have to ask for it without sugar. And I remember one time they accidentally forgot, and they left it in, and I took a sip, and I was just like, ah! It's like fucking insane, dude, how much sugar is in everything.
Yeah, if I get any cold brew or anything, I always get it no cream, no sugar. I just get everything black.
Are you big on sweets in general?
Probably more than I would like to be. Our go-to is ice cream, because we have that ice cream shop right down the street.
Yep.
So we'd get that probably too often. But yeah, I mean, if I go to like a restaurant and I don't want an iced tea or a water, I get like a Diet Coke or something. But
Yeah.
well, and if I do like energy drinks, I do sugar-free, 0 all of it, which is still terrible for you, but I try to cut the sugar. Yeah.
Everything's bad for you, dude.
Everything kills you. Everything kills you.
Star Wars
Including
kills
this
you.
podcast, so.
Star Wars kills you, dude.
You will die.
What the fuck was that?
What? Palpatine, what the fuck? What are you doing here, man? It's always him.
All right.
Wow.
All right, guys. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, we're all dead.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Somehow.
Ahsoka, I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to it. I don't want to sound like a shitter downer, but I just made up a new word.
But here I go,
I just made up a new
being a
word.
shitter downer.
Sorry, that made me laugh more than it should have. I'm looking forward to watching it. But leading into like the first season of Mando and Andor, I was like, I cannot wait for this fucking thing. I'm getting up early the day it comes out and watching it at like 4 a.m. Because Andor had 3 episodes. I watched all 3 of them in the first day.
Jesus.
Because I was so fucking amped for it. And now I'm like, I will watch Ahsoka. I'm looking forward to talking about Ahsoka.
Don't de-hype yourself.
That's my vibe. No, I didn't bring myself down at any level whatsoever. That's just what my level has been. Maybe you can bring me up a level.
Yeah, you need to get prepped for this. Again, I feel like this is the stakes. These are the T-bones that we need. Ahsoka going after a big guy. That's what we need now. This is it. This is Star Wars. I think even if I'm overhyping it and it's an average series, it's still big time. You know what I'm saying? It's
Big
still
time.
it's
Big
still
time.
Ahsoka. It's still Jesus's apprentice living beyond the Jedi, and that is a big deal. Plus, we might see flashbacks of Anakin. We will probably see Luke, fucking badass Luke. We can see Boba Fett, who did she cross paths with Boba Fett? Just Mando.
Yeah,
But Mando, yeah, that's one relationship over, so we could see anybody. She could be, especially with Sabine being involved. Now that the Mandalorians, is this prior to the season 3 of Mando? Timeline-wise?
Season 3? I'm not sure.
Because if the Mandos are all together and Sabine's a part of Ahsoka's clan now, like she could be like, well, I do have these badasseries that are kind of formed now. If you need some backup, they've got a badass ship that rams Moffs, explodes.
The Moff Rammer 3000.
That sounds so bad.
Yep,
Moff Rammer.
it does.
It still scares the Moffs one way or the other.
Scares them off.
Either I'm dying or I'm getting fucked by a ship.
Balls deep. Yeah, Moff Gideon was not a big enough threat and he wasn't even in part of it to carry like all the way through Mando. We haven't had like a Palpatine level villain to go after in a while.
Since Disney started.
Mm.
Don't even me. I love Kylo Ren. I absolutely love Kylo Ren.
Well, Thrawn was in the cartoon, I guess is what I was going after.
But that was pre-Thrawn. That's like saying, oh, Senator Palpatine was in the No,
He
that's
was.
not Emperor.
He was.
That's not Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah, but he was in the movies.
I'm telling you right now, this is going to be different. This is going to be... this is Thrawn. This is it.
Thrawn.
Thrawn.
Yeah, we'll see, man. Yeah, back to what you said. That's the thing that's, I think, going to be most enjoyable is that we have the mystical Jedi stuff, and maybe even more mystical than we thought about because unknown regions, warp, time travels, fuckery stuff.
Grogu blood stuff is still up in the air, depending on the timeline.
What do you think Grogu's going to do?
I'm just saying, Thrawn was mentioned by Moff Gideon in season 3 of Mando.
Right.
Like, he's still a secret, but he's kind of controlling everything regardless.
Right.
Like, even the Moffs don't feel like... they don't even know what's going on.
Yep.
They're playing their games and squabbling. Meanwhile, Thrawn is just sitting back
Exactly.
like, these fucks.
They're going to kill each other.
They
There's going to
think-
be one left, and that's going to be the strongest one.
Yep.
Yeah, and then, of course, what I've been waiting for since 2015 is that we hopefully are going to have some sort of direction towards the Resistance and the First Order. So...
What's your favorite space battle?
give
me 2.
I'll give you two. Thank you. 2 makes it so much easier to pick. Anytime anyone asks me what's your favorite anything, I'm like, paralysis. I don't know.
Or are we doing a draft, a quick 2 draft?
We don't have to do a draft. I'll just say I like the beginning of episode 3, and I like Return of the Jedi, but I'm giving myself a second to think of something else. The opening of Last Jedi is awesome.
Oh, I don't like that one.
Say one so I can keep thinking.
Probably my favorite is episode 7 Poe on above the cantina.
Oh, yeah.
He's a fucking warrior there.
Yeah.
Although he does do
That's not a space battle.
You're
though.
right. He does do that e-brake thing in the beginning of 8, but that's like a single ship against.
Yeah, but the Maz's palace thing, that's not even a space battle. Does that count?
Yeah, it is.
He's
I
in the
guess
atmosphere.
I guess you're right. I just meant starship battle, but yeah. You're right.
That's okay. I won't argue semantics with you.
I'm trying to think of anything that happened in 9 that was, that big space battle at the end, but I don't fucking care. Yeah, it's gotta be.
Of us.
It's got to be something. Well, I actually really, really enjoy the Rogue One space battle that's happening above Scarif.
Yep. I
With-
thought of that one too.
With Radis, man. And then the fucking KOTOR
Hammerhead.
ship. Oh, that's got to be my top, to be honest.
And then Vader shows up.
And then Vader shows up. And then maybe a third wild card for me would definitely be episode 1. Anakin, Naboo, starfighters against the separatist ships.
Yep. Interesting. All right. Well, if you added a third one, so I'm going to go 3. Opening of Revenge of the Sith, opening of Last Jedi, and Rogue One space battle.
Is there a space battle that happens in episode 5? Not really. They escape at the beginning. Luke's training.
They have to run past. They're chasing the Falcon for like 6 hours.
Into the asteroid field, yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't even really count. They're not even firing back. They're just running.
You know what's funny is like when I think of 5, I shit on it because I think of like the plot line. I'm like,
It's a very screwy movie.
Oh, okay. Nothing happens in the middle. But it's a lot of character development stuff. And
Yeah.
then when I go back and watch it, I'm like, oh my God, I love this movie.
It's like
But-
the pacing's great, but like the story as a whole is an odd lull. But you do get some great character development,
Yeah, it's a lot
and
of
then
character
you get the bomb drop of "I'm your father," and you're like, ah.
Yeah. But it's not as clear as like epic opening on this one place. We have to find this thing on this other place. Final showdown in this new place.
You know, there probably is
Actually, it is like
a
that.
space battle in Mando that
What?
we're probably forgetting.
The one where they forgot about all the TIE fighters.
Before that. Well, no, because he does fight the pirates, which I don't think that one's that good, but
Nope.
he does. God,
When
this-
him and Bo are running from the interceptors is awesome, but that's also not in
Yeah.
space.
Because that's
Mainly just seeing an interceptor. I was like,
yeah, I like it.
space battles are fun.
battles. I'm surprised neither of us said
Played Squadrons?
any Death Star battles.
Yeah, I'm not a huge. We've beaten this horse. 4. I'm not huge on 4. I'm not one of those Star Wars fans. It's like 4 is like the best thing that's ever been made.
I'm not gonna lie, the trench run's fun.
It's fun. Yeah,
it's really
fine.
fun, and I do like that people die along the way. Like Luke's the only one left at the end of 4, other than Han and the Falcon. All of his buddies get shot off. They get picked off, and he's the last one in the trench,
Yeah?
and he shoots the last. I think so, because Vader's on his ass,
He's a.
but
OP.
Vader gets clipped by the Falcon.
right.
Wow!
I guess I didn't register that all of the Y-wings and X-wings went out.
Everybody gets killed except for Luke and Han, I think. So no
OP,
wonder they
dude.
became generals. Everybody else is dead.
What a Mary Sue, dude. Blowing up the Death Star.
I do.
Couple hours after he got picked up.
I do enjoy the AT-AT battle on Hoth. I know it's not a space battle, but it's cool to see ships fighting ground transports.
Yeah, and that's one of the most iconic set pieces of the entire saga.
Yeah, it's very similar to like
The
Poe
saga.
attacking the ground in 7. It's just fun.
I still remember as a kid knowing and being able to picture the Hoth battle even before I really even knew what Star Wars as a whole was.
Yeah,
Like I remember friends would have toys of the snow speeder, the AT-AT or whatever, and it's just that is iconic even though I don't even know what Star Wars is. I don't know who Luke Skywalker is, but I know what this fucking thing on the snow means.
yeah. I feel like that is probably my earliest I don't want to say recollection, but the first thing I thought of
Yeah.
earliest in my life, you just see an AT-AT in snow.
The first memory of my life.
Yeah, all of it.
Is the AT-AT head coming out of the snow, the fog of the snow.
I also like the cassettes, the VHSs I had, because Vader was on the cover of the first one. Yoda was on the cover of
Yep.
the 6th, or I'm sorry, 4 and 6, and then there was just a snow trooper on the cover of 5, and you're like, God
Really?
damn, yeah.
I forgot. I was gonna say that Vader was on the 5th one, and Yoda was on the 6th one, and I was trying to think of who was on the 4th.
No, it's Vader on the 4th, Snow Trooper on the 5th, Yoda's on the 6th.
I still got one of those, packed up.
It's wrapped.
Yeah. Yep.
Shinobi says, my prediction is Star Wars fans will hate Ahsoka. I also predict they will love it.
That's a
I
good
mean-
prediction.
I think that's fair.
If you're a betting man, go to Vegas, put some money on that.
50-50. I think
Yeah,
I honestly
that's to
think
be sure.
there's gonna be more leeway with Ahsoka just because it's Ahsoka. It doesn't have to be a perfect thing. I feel weird saying that, but she's been through a lot. The character of Ahsoka's
I'll tell you,
been through some trash stuff, but I think
that's true.
this series they're gonna take it to another level, regardless.
Speaking of, we got to do the Clone Wars movie, family commentary, final family commentary, in honor of Ahsoka.
Snips.
As torturous as it might be, we have to do it.
Snips.
Snips is fine. Zero the Hutt is what I'm worried about. I'm gonna have to put an eye mask on when he comes on screen. What I was gonna say is, prediction-wise, people that love Rebels are going to love Ahsoka, and Star Wars fans that love original trilogy and prequels and stuff, those are probably going to be the ladies and gentlemen that decide to have a grievance with it.
Sure.
That'd be my guess, because it's going to be it's Filoni, it's Ahsoka, it's going to be in that same style, even though it's live action. So that's what I think is going to happen. But yeah, it'll probably be split. As bad as Last Jedi? Never. Nothing has been that bad.
That was just a cop out. People just wanted to be pissed, and
That was.
I'm not saying you have to like it or
gnarly,
anything,
dude.
but people were shitting on that for no reason.
That is gnarly.
Who is going to be the surprise cameo in the series? It's going to be goddamn Anakin Skywalker.
That wouldn't be a surprise.
I think the easy ones are going to be Anakin and Luke. I think maybe an outside one. Is there a clone trooper still alive? Possibly. That's
Rex.
a long ways away though.
Yeah.
That's through the entire original trilogy, and he was already like 60 in episode 4
Who?
timeline. Rex.
Well, not physically 60. Well, not literally 60. He probably felt 60 because of the aging, fast aging.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he had gray hair in Rebels, so I don't know if that's possible, but if they want to work in some sort of clones figured out how to reverse the aging process thing, that would be a cool place to do it. I mean, people that she was close with, Anakin's at the top of the list and Rex is number 2.
My hope, and I don't think this will happen, is they throw a random Jedi like Quinlan Voss, because his name was etched into that wall in the Obi-Wan series, so we know he's alive beyond.
Or Cal Kestis.
Cal Kestis would be fun.
Starkiller, Shinobi says.
Shut up.
Only if he kills Palpatine.
No, I think I think this is the place to do it. That's what I'll say. Like they could pull someone random.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Anakin and Luke are easy bets. I'm going to vote that we're going to have an appearance from Rex.
Is there a
Or
villain?
Guess or bet or whatever.
A villain that we could see as a cameo?
Thrawn?
Well, that's not. Come on.
Well, we already have a villain. Let's pull up this cast of character, goddamn. The homeboy with the nice beard.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there we go. I don't know
if that's confirmed. But we have these 2 dark side characters. And I just want to say, I have not been following any of the lore or the leaks or the updated trailers or the info at all. I've seen all of the main trailers and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So usually I'm like, oh, I heard about this in this fucking video. But I don't know any of these people. Shin Hati.
She's the apprentice of Balin Skull.
What are these names, dude? They're running out of names, man. That KOTOR character name generators
Limited.
getting to the very end. Dark side. Interesting.
Hera's gonna. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's, like I said, I'm not even the biggest Rebels fan, but it's gonna be awesome to see Sabine and Hera in real life.
Yeah, and then Balin
Skull. A former Jedi, Balin survived Order 66 by fleeing to unknown regions. He's an allied Thrawn. Interesting.
So he switches sides. All right.
Interesting.
Quicker, easier, the dark side is. Wait, Mon Mothma's?
Yeah, she's in the trailer.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, baby.
I don't know who that is.
That's the girl that ran that compound in the Mando where they first met Ahsoka. The one
with the staff?
she was dueling with the staff. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then obviously Thrawn.
Dude. Just the picture of the back of his head.
I know.
I'm
so
fucking
glad,
hyped.
I'm so glad it's him too. That actor is savage.
I don't know anything about him. What's he from? Oh, he's voice?
Mads Mikkelsen. Yeah, he's the voice actor from Rebels. But it's Mads Mikkelsen's brother. And he was the president, the Russian president in House of Cards. So there he is. That's what he looks like. That's what I think of it.
I barely remember House of Cards, but I do remember the Russian president, just the character, and I always liked him.
Yeah.
He had a very sinister presence. Yeah.
Oh, talk about a cameo. Probably Admiral or Agent Callus, I bet you he'll show up. All right.
How do you feel about Mads?
I love him, dude.
Casino Royale.
As soon as I saw him for the first time at Casino Royale, I was like, who is this guy? No,
Yeah.
I still love, that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
You liked him as Galen?
I did. Yeah.
I thought he was fine for Galen. I felt like Galen could have been many different people, and he did well.
We didn't really have that much time with him, you know? Like,
Yeah.
we needed, in order for it to really set in, we needed him before he had to escape, you know? Get a bit more with him. I'm sure he's probably in some fucking comic somewhere or something. Yeah.
Dude, Ahsoka fighting former Jedi that are now bad. You have so many aspects.
Don't forget
Of
some
the Force
Inquisitors
right
are in
there.
there too.
So many aspects of the Force right there.
Yeah.
We used to be coworkers. I quit, and you went to the competition.
He fucking cashed out his retirement early. Boss fired me. This guy stole company property. He's trying to sue him. Now we're
Yep.
all going to duel it out.
We're going to fight over the staplers.
Yeah, we haven't got a lot of... Like, we've had Grogu, right? And Ahsoka. They've been in something. But we haven't had a lot of discussion about
What
the
happened?
Jedi Order and how people have been surviving since then.
That's what I think.
Like, there's a couple comments, but there's not like a
Right.
tension between two Jedi
Yeah.
that both survived Order 66, and this person took it this way, and then Ahsoka took it the other way.
Well, think of how impactful the small conversations and equippets between Ahsoka and Luke were in Mando Season 2.
Yes.
Like the small one-off, just like your father, or whatever the fuck she says. You're like, like I can't handle it.
Exactly.
But now we're just getting a whole fucking crew back together one way or another, and you're just gonna be like, fucking guys, yell at each other, fight.
I'm trying to think of other Jedi from the prequels that may still have survived. Kanan? Is Kanan in this? Does Kanan
No,
dead?
Kanan dies.
When did he die?
I didn't even watch Rebels, but I know he dies. So Ezra would be the wild card because
Well,
I don't
he's
think
already in it.
he's lost, right?
Him and Thrawn both went through the portal at the same time. So I'm sure he'll be in it. I think there's a hollow message of him in the trailer. But
Fuck.
I know Kanan went blind because he got hit by the...
He gets killed. I'm just telling you. Look it up.
I mean, I'm not doubting you, but I also don't believe you. Kanan Jarrus dies.
Yep, right there. Wrestling Hera.
1 BBY, dude. Okay. I guess I never finished Rebels after all.
Well, and this almost
That's what happens.
This is also what Ahsoka could do. I was never vested in the Rebels, and I watched, I don't know, maybe 2 seasons of it. I saw a lot of the Maul stuff, which was interesting enough. But I just never cared to keep going. And I know some serious stuff happens, and Ahsoka gets involved, and you're like, and then, you know, the Ahsoka Vader battle, which I've seen, of course. But the other stuff where, how does Kanan get blind? How does he die? Where does Thrawn and Ezra go? That's where it's like, I'm hoping this series gets me vested enough to go back and be like, all right, let me square this away.
Yes. I think Vader is who blinds him.
Blinded by Maul.
Maul. Got it. I just wanted to. Yeah, I will say I've always appreciated the characters. But there's something about the cartoon and the tone, especially of season 1 and 2, that just makes you feel a different sort of way about the characters. Like seeing Hera in live action, it's just, even if the lines are the same and they're doing the same things or the same plot, the fact that it's live action just hits totally differently.
Like in a bad way, you're saying?
No, in a good way.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying like for me, and probably I'm speaking for you here as well, it was harder to get invested in the cartoon
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
the same characters. Whereas here, I'm just like, all right, dude,
This
in.
is it.
Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. Zeb as well, who we already saw in Mando,
True.
could definitely show up. And I was very excited about that.
I wonder if they part ways. Does Zeb part ways with...
I imagine here's a plot point that's going to kick off the whole show. Kanan's already dead. They've all splintered away.
Well, Ezra's missing.
Everyone's pissed.
Yeah.
Ezra's missing. Ahsoka is going to start bringing the gang back together.
So is the idea that Ahsoka is looking for Thrawn in the same way as she's searching for Ezra?
I would imagine so, yeah, because they pieced out at the same time.
Or, yeah, maybe that's it. Instead of trying to kill Thrawn, maybe she's more trying to save Ezra.
And now she's getting roped up and
Yeah.
having to kill Thrawn because she's
Yeah.
a good person.
Yeah. I feel like
A lot of
Thrawn,
potential.
Thrawn is the perfect person to just toy with fuckers. Like on an Emperor level. Like he doesn't give a fuck. He also, if
He's casual.
if they're sticking around canon, Jedi Force powers and lightsabers don't work around him because he's got that fucking negate
I don't
animal.
think that is canon.
But if they stick to that, Ahsoka's gonna walk in and be like, "Ha cut you in." Oh shit, my shit don't work.
It'd be interesting if they introduced that, yeah. Or if he found something in the unknown regions that did that. They they nodded to it in the cartoon, but they didn't actually bring those creatures in, which is fine, I think.
My kids started watching the Young Jedi Tales or whatever the fuck, the newer series.
Are they good?
They're not, but it's perfect for a kid.
That's kind of what I meant. Is
They're
it
all
good
just
for a kid?
it's kids with lightsabers stopping like bad guys stealing stuff. Oh no, he's getting away with the coins. Let's get him, and then they just flip around, and my kid just jumps around. Oh. You're like, all right, that's it. I guess that's where it starts.
There's a Spider-Man show that's like the same thing.
Oh yeah, very dumbed down.
That she watches, which is why I just keep going back to Bluey. I just like Bluey. It doesn't treat me like I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
But
Dude, the Spidey one.
I can't say more than that.
What do they say? There's Rhino. He's as strong as a rhinoceros. And you're like, shut the fuck up. Just stop.
Oh man.
You didn't have to say that. Although I'm not a 2-year-old, and maybe a rhino and a rhinoceros are different in my eyes or in my head when I'm 2. You're like, oh, a rhino and a rhinoceros. Those are the same thing.
Maybe. That's interesting. Yeah. Maybe you haven't learned all the alternative words for the same thing yet.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense on that level. But when I'm sitting there, I'm like, Jesus Christ, turn it off. Fuck this thing.
I know. It can be hard to watch. Better than some of that YouTube stuff, though.
Yeah.
There's some really cringe stuff on YouTube that just starts to autoplay. I can't do it.
Nope. No. Just the dancing strawberries and shit. I'm like, darn, no. No. Not
It's like
doing
no
it.
one thought of this. It's some weird, like, offshore fucking pyramid scheme. Just making millions off of ad revenue on YouTube.
Buy Frosted Flakes. Here's a dancing
Just spastic music and bright colors. Just getting your kid to stare at the screen as long as possible. So annoying.
It's bad. It's bad. Just like Star Wars.
Is there a...
What's after Ahsoka? Acolyte. See, we're going down. We're getting to a point where it could get very interesting very quick.
But Acolyte's next year, though. Which, I don't know.
Is there?
I guess
there's
here's my
nothing
thing. Here's
between
my
here
thing.
and there.
I don't think so. I alluded to
Andor
this
season 2
at the beginning.
Go ahead.
But just to maybe drive it home or maybe explain it in more detail, the gap between Mando season 3 and Ahsoka feels very long because Mando season 3 didn't really do it for me.
True.
If it left me on a high, I would be spending all this time just continually talking about it and researching it and diving into it. And I hope Ahsoka does that and kind of fills the gap until Acolyte comes out or whatever the next show is. I'm not sure when Andor season 2 is. And then, of course, on the Marvel side, we got Loki coming down the pike.
Yeah. I don't know about all that.
Yeah, you do.
Oh yeah.
You saw the trailer. We talked about it.
I know, but still, I still don't know all about that.
Well, I mean, you know about Loki.
Miss Marvel.
I like Miss Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
She's fine, too.
She's all right. Haircut sucks.
Which one? She's had many.
Kroner's pissed. No, she's still around. She's the Superman of the fucking gang.
I know.
She should just be saving everything.
Yeah, a little bit. She did a little bit.
I know we were talking pretty heavy into Batman and DC stuff, but
I don't like DC.
I put on The Dark Knight last night.
It's good, isn't it?
Dude, it's damn near untouchable. The only gripe I have is I'm not the Christian Bale is he's not a negative. That's what I'll say. I just don't think he adds anything to Bruce or Batman. Where I feel like Ben Affleck adds something to old man Bruce. Like he's just he's over it. He's just tired. I feel like he's on par. And maybe that's what's needed, because when you look at what Heath does with Joker, you're like, oh, okay, everybody else just get the fuck out of the way. Let him do him.
Yeah, that's interesting. I feel like if everybody is exceptional, they're kind of competing for attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is kind of a I mean, Bruce Wayne's looking to stop doing Batman because he's trying to hype up Two-Face. What the fuck's his name?
Oh, yeah. Harvey Dent.
Harvey Dent. He's trying to hype up Harvey. Be like,
I believe it.
You're
Harvey
the White
Dent.
Knight that maybe Batman isn't needed anymore.
Because, bro, I am tired.
Because this shit
I
sucks.
need to get a fucking massage and just live in the sauna for a week.
So it's a nice storyline for Christian Bale to do what he did. And it just opens the door wide open for Joker just to fuck around.
Yeah, that whole tirade he goes on, I just love it.
Over analyzing, I mean, like facial expressions and little quips and stuff. One of my favorite scenes is actually during the dinner party at the top of that tower, where he walks in and he just like grabs some shrimp cocktail, chews on it, and is like, "Where the fuck's Harvey Dent?"
I love that.
And he's just so nonchalant. But
where are they?
Oh yeah.
Sorry, you started talking about the Joker, so I went to the Joker 2, which I saw some behind the scenes stuff of. I guess it's not coming out until next October.
Yeah, they gotta. they're in filming right now. It's gonna take a year. Yeah,
which I get.
Budget's only 150 million, that was what like Barbie was.
Well, the first one probably was lower. I mean, there's not special effects or
no. It's a pretty
crazy battles or anything like that.
I think that's why it's
which
so
I love.
good.
Well, again, I think we overanalyzed the fuck out of this like back when it came out, but it's like it has the room to be so good because it's so different from everything else. If that makes sense. Sorry.
You saw. I feel like we talked about this. The Robert Pattinson Batman. It is gonna age much better
than Christian Bale.
Well, not only Christian Bale, and I don't even mean to compare him. I'm just saying much better than all the other DC stuff that's been put out. And I think that might be obvious, but I think this movie's better than people originally thought. You're going to watch this. They
already thought it was really good.
Well, it's got kind of mixed ratings. I mean, 85% on Rotten is really good. It is. But, 3.9 here isn't the greatest out of 5.
Yeah.
But I do think it's a simplistic view of a young Batman, and it just... I'm not going to say it's groundbreaking. I just think it's top-notch for what it's doing.
I agree, and we were out with some buddies Friday having some beverages and chatting, and I don't know what it is about DC, but like if you think Marvel has been a little bit in disarray since Endgame came out,
this would be a perfect time.
I feel like DC has continually been like that since Man of Steel first came out.
No.
You have a shining in the Batman or in the Joker. You have like this centerpiece, and then there's like a bunch of fucking random nonsense.
That's not true at all. DC has been doing much better as of late, especially with the newer Suicide Squad, which was great. They've got the Batman and now Joker. That's 3 swings and major hits.
Yeah.
I think, but there has been some misses along the way. But I just think, we see the Flash, and it's kind of fumbling a little bit.
I bet you the percentage is the same. Even though Marvel puts out more stuff, I bet you the percentage of hits and misses is probably exactly the same. Now that I think about it, in more detail.
I just think
I'm just a hater, dude.
Ever since Joker came out, I feel like things have started to trend upward for DC.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe even since the Snyder Cut. I feel like once they started releasing stuff like that, or the extended cut of Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, but what about the new Shazam?
And Shazam was great, though.
But the second one.
I don't know. Can you look it up real quick?
That just came out.
I haven't seen it.
And Black Adam.
Black Adam's, I don't know anything about that one. I've heard bad things. Fury of the Gods, man. Let's see. 3.4, see? Mediocre.
49%. Not the Rotten Tomatoes is the be-all, end-all, but yeah.
Yeah. That sucks.
That's what I mean. I feel like for every The Batman, there's one of these that you like didn't hear of or forgot about. Also, that Blue Beetle movie.
I can't even say anything about it. I don't know anything about it. It looks fun.
Just the ad came up and the trailer played, and I was like, it looks like a budget Iron Man. That's what I thought. Like, not even just the character, like the movie.
I mean, yeah. You know what I have? I know we talked about kind of the issue with Batman vs Superman and the Justice League stuff, but
there were no issues with that.
You know what would have been fun, or maybe made it? I'm saying just do a fucking Cyborg movie instead of trying to shove Cyborg's story into Justice League.
They could have.
And it's like, you could have had all that stuff off the table already. He could have been a setup character. And the same way...
No patience.
The same way in the Justice League where he's like, I need Aquaman. Let me go up to the cold waters and get Aquaman. And you're like...
Yeah.
I would have
they
loved
introduced
if...
two characters in the same movie.
I would have loved for them to have had history.
Exactly.
Even if they were at odds. That would have been even
Right.
better if they left fighting each other and like, hey, fuck you, and I'm going to go up this way. Don't ever come at Gotham. And then shit happens, and he's like, God, I think I need to call him.
Yeah.
The same thing that happens after Civil War when Iron Man needs to call Tommy Rogers or whatever the fuck his name
I was
is.
going to say, in Infinity War, we have Iron Man with people that he already knows, like Peter Parker. But then he also meets the Guardians and Doctor Strange for the first time.
Yeah.
So you get a mix of both.
But
and
they're
he's
already
got Hulk and everything.
All of them are already set up.
Yes.
All of them.
Yes.
They're not trying to set... I mean, Aquaman was already set up, but they still are meeting for the first time.
No, he wasn't set up by the time that came out.
Oh, that's
that was
right.
before Aquaman. That was your point.
Fucking assholes. I really, really wanted to like that Aquaman movie, and I still to this day will watch it hoping, and it just never gets better.
I know.
It never does.
I know. It's a bummer.
It's one of those I've invested too much time hoping that I notice something or like something better or just give it an extra little bump, but it just never got there.
I was gonna say there was a huge
Aquaman underwear scenes.
Underwear. I want to see him in his underwear. There was a whole thing around their hair underwater, because that was like a big issue filming underwater, is like to make it look like they're actually, because of with the way the hair moves.
Sure.
It was like so hard, and apparently they did it really well. And I just wanted to see, because I haven't seen it since theaters.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it a second time.
I don't even think I saw it in theaters.
But I don't know if it's... I'm trying to remember if it was any good. Was it any good? The hair? Underwater hair?
I remember noticing it, but not in a negative way. So...
Because
like
the reason I thought of it is that we took our daughter to see Little Mermaid in theaters, and I was like, oh, that hair, not good.
Yeah.
Maybe because I had seen Avatar like the year before.
Small stuff like that makes a big difference.
They filmed underwater and then added the special effects on top of it, which is crazy. Avatar was good, man. I'm not going to even sit here and talk about it.
You know what's crazy? And it might be a cop-out. It might be a cheap way to go. Just put fucking hats on them. You're going to spend all that fucking money creating this stuff just so someone's hair wiggles in the water.
Just make them bald.
That's actually the first thing that went through my head is just have slick back tied hair. Or
Joe Rogan, The Rock, John Cena. Just everyone needs to be bald underwater.
Rosie O'Donnell. All of them.
Ahsoka.
Yeah, I think it's too much. You're trying to do too much. Look at our fucking cool hair. And you're like, that's what I'm watching this movie for?
Well, I think when they did that, the super effects, the special effects people were probably like, I hope the rest of the movie's good.
Like, don't they control water? So why would their hair move at all? I feel like Aquaman could have his hair stand up or stand down or float back or float forward if he wanted it to, because he can control the fucking water around his head.
Yeah, but that's like one more thing to think about when you're trying to fight a war, is like which way your hair is flowing.
Yeah, wear the hat, man. Wear the fucking hat.
You cannot take Jason Momoa and put him in a hat, man. Come on.
It's true.
Khal Drogo.
Yeah, he's kind of rocketed to his success just because he's got big pecs. He's a fun guy.
He is. He's the chillest looking dude.
He, yeah, for like his Khal Drogo stuff was,
So
I would say,
good.
below average as an actor, but the character itself's badass, and the whole culture around it is so cool. But he's just like, "Arr!" And you're like, okay, he wants to fuck. Like, okay, I get it, but
I disagree. I liked him as Khal Drogo.
I thought it was flat. But I really like him as Aquaman. That's why I want the movie to be better.
I know, that's the sad part.
But
second one should be coming out, right?
Willem Dafoe was an issue, and I did not like Willem Dafoe in Aquaman.
Willem Dafoe in No Way Home, on the other hand.
Yes.
God,
Yes.
that was good. So good, man.
Yeah, those are movies I could spend an entire weekend. I mean, look how many fucking Spider-Man movies there are.
He's one of the most popular.
3, 4, 5.
Him, Batman, and Superman.
How many Spider-Man movies are there? 9?
Live action?
Yeah. 3 Tobys.
There's
2 Andrews.
8 because they didn't finish the Andrew Garfield one. They didn't do the third Andrew Garfield, so there's only 8.
Gotcha. So they did 3 Tom Hollands. There's
Mhm.
No Way Home, Homecoming, and
Far From Home.
Far From Home.
The second one. Yeah. And then 2 Spider-Verse, and then he's in a bunch of other ones.
Well, and they've planted the seeds for him to be because he's come in contact with Venom. He's in that other alternate universe, right?
Not necessarily. I don't think he's done, but I don't know if it's like
He could be the next, and kind of already is, Iron Man, where he is the ongoing guy. He is the thread. Spider-Man is the thread going forward. Everything's going to be kind of based on him.
I think as viewers and like our enjoyment of the heroes, I think that might be true. As far as the lore, like someone that's leading all of the Marvel characters, I think Reed Richards is one of those characters. I think Iron Man's one, you know, he has like the Stark Tower and all the tech and everything. I think Reed Richards is another one of those that's kind of like taking charge of the whole crew. So I'm looking forward to the Fantastic Four, dude. I think it's supposed to be coming out in 25, something like that.
The Fantastic Four was always one that it just never really hit. And I don't know if it's because of timing of the movies or just because the 90s series was fine, right? But all 90s series, yeah. But all the 90s stuff, you're like, oh man, it was so great. Then you go watch the X-Men series and you're like, whoa, there's some bad shit in that.
It's not great, dude.
Even the 90s animated Batman, which is like notoriously loved, is not that great.
Did you see, speaking of, 90s X-Men, the set photo from Deadpool 3 with Wolverine in the yellow suit?
That's the way to go. That's how you get millennial money.
Dude, that's what I mean. It's like, I hate that it's something that simple, but like, you could tank the entire MCU and then come out with Deadpool 3 good with Hugh Jackman in the 90s Wolverine costume, and I'm back in full force,
but
100%.
Think about what you just said. DC had already tried that with Flash. Oh, guess who we're going to put back in the Batman suit, motherfucker? Boom.
That's the only reason I want to see it.
Yeah.
I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But yeah. 2025, Fantastic Four. I hope they keep Homeboy. He was great. That was awesome. When he showed up in Multiverse of Madness, I gasped and I was like, "Oh my god, I cannot believe they did it."
See, I wanted to gasp, but I don't have that connection to the Fantastics.
Yeah, it happens. It's okay.
Who's gonna play
you.
Thing?
Doesn't matter, dude. He's a big rock. I mean, it matters, but it's not like
Is it dumb that I don't?
His vibe doesn't matter as much because he's gonna be either in a full costume or fully CGI.
Is it dumb that I don't know how they got their powers?
They were working on a space station, and then something bad happens.
Was it like alien technology or alien disease or some weird shit?
It's radiation, just
Some
like
rock?
just like the Hawk.
Oh, okay.
But I can't remember. I think something happens on the space station,
Gotcha.
or like
Goddamn alien solar flare come through and
something like that. Yeah,
bricks rock dick.
it does brick the rock dick hard. Yes, it does.
All I know is Silver Surfer
is.
is supposed to be a badass villain. Is he always a villain, or does he kind of ride that line? Does he start as a villain and he gets his ass whooped? And
No idea. My lore is very shallow with
Okay.
them. I just like the layout of the characters.
I thought he was one of the dumbest looking characters. Just an all silver guy on a surfboard in the air. Even as a kid, I was like, that's dumb. But like what he did in the series, I thought was cool. I don't know.
Isn't someone in Doug look like that?
What?
Doug, don't they have superhero personas? Doug, the cartoon.
Yeah, I know.
You
but
know you got Quail Man. Aren't there other?
no, I did.
Is it just Quail Man?
Yeah. To my knowledge, I wouldn't have named any others.
No.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, because that's what I always thought of instead of Silver Surfer, because I watched Doug before I got into Fantastic Four. Silver Skeeter.
Silver Skeeter. And
Yeah,
his green.
I remember that with his skateboard and his backwards hat.
Silver. Wow. I never knew that was a thing.
I haven't watched that forever. Quail
Banging
Man,
on a
dude.
trash can,
He's just got
drumming on a street light.
underwear over his shorts and a belt on his head.
The Beats.
The Beats. I do remember the Beats. Wow. What a time to be alive.
Quail Man.
I can watch Doug whenever I want.
Dude, that's not a bad Halloween costume.
Doug?
Quail
Quail
Man.
Man?
Just have a belt on your head and get a big pair of whitey tighties, man. Tighty whities.
Yeah, you got to put granny panties over your shorts. That's not a bad idea.
It's an easy one.
Speaking of Halloween costumes.
Either people will be looking at you like, what a fucking freak, or they're going to be like, yes!
They know exactly who you are. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Any final comments?
Man.
2 weeks to it. We got one more episode before Ahsoka. Actually, we got 2 because it comes out on a Wednesday.
Fuck. No, I think I'll be in a. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I was going to maybe try to hit up some big plot line Rebels episodes prior to. Maybe I'll look at it like a watching guide and be like, all right, when does.
Or maybe go for like a plot summary
Yeah, that's one. Well, yeah.
instead.
I wonder if there's just like a super cut of
Without
what
all
the
the
fuck.
filler.
Yeah, of what the fuck happened. Like someone's actually edited, so I could just watch an hour of footage
That'd be
and be
nice.
like, "Oh, that's what happens."
That'd be nice.
That's called a movie. I wish they would do that.
Ooh, all right, guys. We like you.
Episode 10.
What?
Star Wars Episode 10 is ready. They're going to be start filming, right?
Oh, really?
Ray, they already said Ray's going
Well,
to be
they
taking
announced
over.
that it's going to happen. I don't think they've goddamn started it yet.
I mean, it's only been 6 months since they
Let's go.
There has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
Hello, what have we here?
You guys are so funny.
Hello.
Holy shit. It ain't C3 penis face and R2 dickhead.
Hello there.
Looking? Found someone you have, I would say.
May the force be with us. Fucking A.